Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we are back again with another Alliance War video. This is the first war of season 22. These seasons are absolutely flying. ASR is up against X7V. I'm going to be doing path 1 and both sections. So I'm going to start off with this Sabretooth and he has basically the vigorous assault where he's completely unblockable if he has an active regeneration buff, and also our overlord, which means he will start with an active regeneration buff and he will start the fight unblockable. Now Sabretooth's own passive regen doesn't count towards this, however obviously it still regenerates Sabretooth, and if I'm not too careful he can heal up for an absolute ton. We're going to see exactly how potent that heal is going to be towards the end of this fight. But I'm taking in my rank 3 6-star Doom, and as I have said in the past, if you're not putting in Doom in like an absurdly hard matchup, in an average straightforward fight it's very hard to mess up so much with Dr. Doom that you actually die, just because of how tanky he is. You can eat a level 3 and several combos and whatnot and you'd still likely survive. So yeah, one of the biggest reasons why I love Dr. Doom so much, especially for Alliance War, he just makes you feel so safe. So here we can see that I'm dropping my level 2, that regen is really kicking in. However, I do have maxed out Despair Mastery, and 3 stacks of Incinerate significantly reduce the regeneration Sabretooth was getting, in addition to obviously dealing a whole bunch of damage. So Dr. Doom basically goes through his main cycle and the fight is over here. Next up is Electro against Masochism and Indubitable Node, or however you pronounce it. But yeah, Masochism is the main thing to worry about here. And Quake's relationship with Masochism is actually kind of like 50-50, right? Because overall, Quake can bypass Masochism and can disable it if you are charging the heavy attack at a time the Masochism timer would reset, as we saw here. However, if you are not charging heavy attack when your aftershocks would expire, then Electro shrugs off the new set of debuffs and basically doesn't get stunned. He still takes the damage, but he doesn't get stunned and he doesn't get that long concussion. So as we can see here, it is a bit of an endurance match. It's a bit of a back and forth, whether you do manage to have that heavy being charged at the right time. If not, then he heals up a bit and you kind of get knocked back in a fight slightly. But overall, if your Quake is strong enough, you can just also out damage the Masochism as well. And we are doing just that. We did get several kind of like clean aftershocks in, and a minute in the fight it is over. And next up I'm going to be going up against this Iron Man Infinity War. This was very early on in the war, and actually we had a couple of alliance mates make a couple of early slip-ups, so we didn't have quite the best start of the war and it was still extremely close. And I was trying to make sure I can do everything I can basically in order not to die, in order to play as well as I can. So I did activate this pre-fight ability. I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have saved this pre-fight ability for later, because then I could have used him against Emma Frost as well. But we're going to get to that bit later on. I did make a small slip up here, and Iron Man Infinity War does land a couple of hits. However, for most part, this fight is going to go pretty much perfect. So Human Torch is a rank 3 6-star with pre-fight active, medium level boosts. I'm dropping my level 1s to make sure he doesn't gain too many Furies from that combo hit counter node, whatever it is called. It's very annoying. I hate those nodes. It just makes playing a lot more stressful. And the best thing about Human Torch and the way I just used him is that obviously heavy attacks can't really get auto-blocked. If he has max stand your ground, then there is still a chance, but still it's extremely unlikely those heavy attacks are going to get auto-blocked. So even if I was pushing him into 15% mark, then I wasn't too worried about it. But yeah, that Iron Man Infinity War fight finished superbly. Didn't have too much stress over there. And now we're going to be in section 2. And in section 2 we had another small hiccup. An alliance mate of mine had accidentally already clicked on my lane, but as we saw I had moved previously there as well, so I couldn't really take any other path aside from the path that I was assigned to, because I had spent my energy in between the recordings to kind of like move as far as I could. And that, well, luckily we still cleared them up because we do have a backup for situations like this. And I cannot stress enough that undo button, the button that would let you fix errors, cannot come fast enough, because man, if this would have had ruined our first war, it would be such a depressing thing. So I really hope that undo button really does come quickly. And next up, we are going up against Sentinel here. Sentinel is a stubborn defender, so I do need to play Quake either with heavies only, but I'm not that confident in it. So I'm just going to parry here because there's no good reason not to simply play heavy parry. Safer, simpler, and you also kind of tend to do more damage that way because you can optimize the time you are charging the heavy attack. And this node has Vigor active, but we can just basically ignore the Vigor with Quake here, and we can see that Sentinel is going down in a relatively good pace. Another great thing I do like about Quaking robot champions is they do not benefit from willpower mastery, so they do not get any heal back from my stuns and concussions and stuff like that. So it's slightly quicker than an average champion. And yeah, here we can see that slightly above minute, 1 minute and 20 seconds in, the fight's pretty much over at this point. He's at like 1%. So yeah, minute and 20 seconds, still a very quick fight considering I'm only using like small boosts. I really need to somehow replenish my larger boost stack, but we haven't had too many great offers that would come with these boosts. Typically, at least, you can pick up the champion boost from early access bundles. But currently I have burned down my 30% champion boost with that Abyss stream, which was awesome. If you guys haven't checked out that 6-star rank 3 Abyss run, it was an insanely awesome and fun stream. But next up against Magneto, I could have brought in Human Torch because Magneto does have energy attacks. But if I did that, I would lose a lot of health from Lionheart. Basically, if I reduce Magneto's regeneration rate below kind of like 0, then I take a whole bunch of damage, and I didn't really want to do that. Other than that, Magneto would be absolutely amazing target to use Human Torch on, but unfortunately Lionheart kind of spoiled the fun. Either way, Quake's doing a fantastic job. Now this node does have Buffet active, so I obviously need to be wary of that. We could see the regeneration at the start of the fight, but now that I have precision buff on me already, as long as I don't make a mistake and actually land a hit on Magneto, I can pretty much ignore Buffet node because that buff is already active and I'm not getting any new buffs, so that's perfect for me. And again, just going in here, awaiting all of the attacks, letting Quake do all of the hard work. So yeah, the first war was quite Quake heavy. I do hope I'm gonna get a chance to showcase as many champions as possible in this Alliance War season. I don't want it to be overly heavy with Quake, because I can understand that not everybody necessarily enjoys a lot of Quake gameplay. But if you don't, then we have a great finishing fight for you. I'll use Quake for one more fight, and that's going to be against this Mysterio, just because she does this fight so well. Again, completely ignoring Buffet, completely ignoring Strike Counter, completely ignoring everything else. Quake is such a beast in this game. And yeah, I don't think this game would survive another champion as dominant as Quake, because yeah, Quake's bonkers. Quake's bonkers good, and I absolutely love her. She's the best champion in game by far, bar none. And we kind of see a glimpse here of why, because she can ignore that many different nodes against that many different matchups. But all in all, you can understand that game really cannot sustain many champions as good as her. And yeah, Mysterio here doesn't really have any chance. Obviously, I'm not landing any hits, so I don't need to count what hit I have left on that strike counter node. Don't need to worry about Buffet, because I'm not triggering any buffs. In this fight, I'm playing strictly parry heavy, so I'm not even going to get that initial buff, so he's going to get no regeneration at all whatsoever. And we can see that a minute in, he's already like pretty much done, down, dead. 1 minute exactly that fight took. Quake's such a beast. I do hope that she does come out as a 6-star at some point in the future. And yeah, so that was it for kind of like my second tier path clear. And now towards the end, I was meant to take Emma Frost, but somebody did that for me. So I thought I would repay the favor to somebody else, put on a small set of boosts, and I'm gonna go deal with that Dragon Man. Now the Dragon Man is actually a slightly stressful fight, especially because I haven't fought him there. And I wanted to make sure that I do not kind of like get into a worst case scenario, take a fight that I wasn't technically meant to take and die on it, right? So I will activate Indestructible 3 boost, which will largely be a waste. However, I am maxed out on all 3-minute boosts because I have been not using them too often, and I'm sure I'm gonna get it replaced at some point soon. So Stunning Reflection, basically I cannot stun Dragon Man. If I do, I get stunned instead, but there is a way to disable it, and that's with Incinerates. When you do incinerate or poison the opponent, you can't poison Dragon Man, but you can incinerate him. And when you do incinerate the opponent, that stun shield gets disabled, and then you have stun vulnerability and all sorts of other good stuff happening to you. So the base idea here is I just want to apply one incinerate. We can see it goes on cooldown at this point, and now I can safely parry him and disable the Dragon Man's power gain, and that is about it. Now he is going to give me a little bit of a scare here in the beginning, and I really don't want Dragon Man to throw a level 3, and he was going there. And I'm purposely taking all of the hits off level 2 on my block just to build up my smolder charges, just to increase my damage. And here we can see that already we have 8 smolders, 9 smolders, and that Dragon Man is absolutely melting. Human Torch is so good for this matchup, this node combination. And yeah, Dragon Man being the Mystic champion, the only Mystic robot in game, you can see completely melted here. And that is it for today's war. It's not really finished yet, but we are in the lead, so we are looking to win the first and start with 1-0 this season. So overall, I hope you guys have enjoyed the war video. If you did, hit the like and see ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about